South Africans are heading to the voting stations across the country today as the final voter registration weekend gets underway ahead of the 2026 local government elections. This is also an opportunity for eligible citizens to register, verify their details or update their voting addresses before the November polls. Thousands of voting stations are open nationwide, allowing residents to ensure they are correctly registered to vote. For the latest on the Ekurhuleni voter registration, we now cross live to SABC News reporter Nomvuyo Ntanjana. Nomvuyo, we have seen a lot of action across the country. Give us a sense of what you are seeing in Ekurhuleni this afternoon.
Well, good afternoon to you, Nhlanhla, and good afternoon once again to the SABC viewers at home. Indeed, we are still in Ekurhuleni. However, today we are stationed in a different location, that being Ward 29 in Actonville. Earlier, we visited one of the oldest hostels in this area, basically where residents are experiencing quite a number of challenges when it comes to basic services. However, their main issue being raw sewer that they've been stuck with, that they've been dealing with for the past 8 years. However, we are in a different location now, that being the voting station for that registration station rather for that area. I just want to quickly paint to you the situation of the station. As you can see, there's no, it's not gated, it's not a gated facility. And we went inside earlier where we saw just the conditions inside the station, a ceiling that is falling apart. And I also want to paint to you the situation that you are seeing, which is happening right outside this registration station, that being a crowd gathered. And they're not here to register, by the way. They are here for basically going on about their daily lives. However, I did manage to grab an individual from that crowd, and I am going to speak to that individual right now. So we understand you are saying you do not understand what is going on here today.
Cha angazilutho siswami sibukela ingoma nje lapha akukho kuthini abesingazi nalezi zinto zama zokuthi iziyavota kanje yabona.
So you are saying no one told you about the fact that this weekend it's voter registration weekend?
No, akekho besingenalo ulwazi lokuthi ngiyavota kule weekend.
Kuyaregisteriswa for ukuvota. All right, even we are seeing the IEC banner behind you. You didn't have any inkling.
Lutho tethe cha lutho besingenalo ulwazi le ndaba zokuvota lutho.
Okay, we understand you are 21 years old, right? And are you also telling me that in your 21 years of age, you've never registered to vote?
Lutho cha besingakaze siregister. Ukuthi lezi zinto zoma politiki asikho kulezi zinto zama politiki isikhathi esiningi abasinakile thina yabona ngoba sihlala nje akukho ukuthi kufika abantu isikhathi esiningi kuthiwa esizovota cha lutho.
You're saying you basically you don't partake in anything political. However, that informs basically everything that you are saying, including basic services or service delivery. But you're saying you do not care about such things.
Ukuthi asinandaba nazo ukuthi nje izinto enganakiwe la esikhona njengamanje.
All right, there you have it. A resident here who basically who came here to attend the event that you saw earlier. He's basically saying that yes, he does see what is happening. Well, the banner, the IEC banner, behind me, but he has absolutely no idea what this weekend is or what voter registration weekend even is. However, I do have with me also Mr. Moses Pizzo from the IEC. Sir, you've heard.
No, I just heard it's very troubling that the young man says he's not interested in politics, but not only that he's not even aware of what is happening around his environs. So really that's a problem. However, you must remember that the issue of voter registration has not only been advertised by the IEC, but has been advertised by a number of stakeholders, including government, political parties, and media like yourselves as the SABC, every time on soapies, in the news, and all other media platforms. So it's troubling that all of this information, he's surrounded by it from all angles, and he hasn't noticed it.
But speaking about voter apathy also that I'm seeing in this community, he's not the first to basically express that sentiment that, number one, he's not interested in registering to vote.
Yes, no, we had undertaken a research as the IEC, which was undertaken by the Human Sciences Research Council, and it does indicate that there are some people in Gauteng who said it does not matter what we do, even if we were to give them a kumbi or give them anything, a house, they would not vote. So it's not unheard of that there would be amongst the communities. Research does indicate that there are those people that are so despondent that it doesn't matter what you promise them or you give them or you indicate what the value is of voting, they would not participate in elections.
Before we get to the numbers, because we'll get to that, I need you to make me understand, number one, why the IEC chose this venue as a registration venue, because we went inside where the ceiling is falling apart and we're seeing it's not gated. Security is a concern here.
Yes, remember the IEC has got to try and bring services closest to the people. This is the only fixed structure that is at the hostel that we can use, that everybody has got access to, even though it's not gated, but at least if we are to vote, people are able to access this place. That's really partly the reason why we would have chosen this voting station. But remember, the IEC does not own voting stations. We hire them from people that are willing to give us the voting stations. And this one, the other thing you can see, it's not far from the police station. It's across from the police station. So security is one of the things that we look at.
All right, now numbers. Again, touching on that voter apathy issue, where basically most people in this area, or in fact Ekurhuleni, because we were here yesterday as well, where people were expressing, basically saying they don't see the need to register, and because they don't see change. And we were in that area yesterday where it's roughly 4,000 people in a community. However, we had only 47 people. Again, numbers in Gauteng.
I remember the numbers that you are referring to are numbers that came in yesterday. However, the voters roll in that area is 3,400 people. So it tells you that we have been registering people. But as it relates to the numbers in the province, over the past 2 days, a number of people really have visited our voting stations. Just over the past 2 days, online and in-person registration, at least 120,000 people visited the IC services, whether the platform is in-person or online. But of those, some 40,000 had been registered as new voters. So that was only yesterday. So today we haven't finalized the numbers, but we are around the 40,000 people, 1,000 people that had visited the voting stations, and of those, around 20,000 as of today are new voters that have been registered.
Mr. Pitso, thank you very much for your time, sir. Well, there you have it, IEC representative in Gauteng, Mr. Pitso, basically responding to the issues that we're seeing here. A lot of residents not knowing what this weekend is about, a lot of residents they do not have interest, in fact, to even register to vote ahead of the upcoming local government elections. However, this is the last day of the voter registration. But for now, back to you in studio.
Thanks to our reporter. That's SABC News reporter Nomvuyo Ntanjana coming to us from Ekurhuleni this afternoon. And as she said, time is running out. If you haven't registered to vote for the all-important November elections, the local government elections, or updated your details, you have until 5 p.m. to do so. So you should rush there right now, if possible.